Talk to me about the influencer marketing. So my limited experience, I paid a company to place a track for an artist in some influencer videos. The result was like I think maybe 5 videos of an influencer just kind of like dancing a little bit while the song like plays in the background somewhere. Didn't seem to translate to any sort of follows on their TikTok profile or any sort of streaming boost. Obviously, I think there are a lot of things wrong with that method of promotion that I tried. But how do you do it well? How do you do influencer marketing well?
It's a great question. To start with, I remember I coach not just artists, I coach managers and record labels. And whenever I have this conversation with the people who are spending a lot of money, putting a lot of effort into it, mostly record labels and artist managers that have artists that are signed to major labels and independent labels, nobody's happy with their influencer marketing agency. So if you think, oh, there's influencer marketing agencies that I can just go and they claim to be the link between the brand and the artist, or the link between the influencer and the artist. Yeah, great. Well, that sounds nice, but where's the work? Like what's the system? What happens once you become that link? Well, typically they plug you in to their influencer marketing strategy. They partner you with the artist, they give them a couple guidelines. It is a good practice to let the TikToker or the influencer, don't constrain them with too many guidelines. They know how to make a video. They study this stuff daily. They obsess over it. They know what the algorithm likes from their channel. They know what type of videos their audience likes, what gets the most heart. So don't try to tell them to do their video. But what you do need to tell them is make sure to use the song, the hook of the song, make sure to mention the artist's name and the song name in the video. Spell it out even. Put the text on screen. Song by this artist and the song title, so that people actually don't just hear the song in the back, but they're forced to like see the artist name. What that does is it gets people talking in the comments. Oh, I really like this artist and never heard of them before. Or, oh, this is awesome. They don't have to ask, who is this artist? It's obvious. And they're like, some of the comments will be, oh, I'm just checking them out on YouTube, or I'm just learning about them. This sounds awesome. Thanks for turning me on to the artist. Those are the type of comments you get. But a lot of times what the influencer marketing agencies do is they just spray and pray. They put it out there and they let the influencers go. And if you read most of the comments on them, they're not talking about the artist. They're not talking
No,
about
they're
the music.
not. Yeah,
They're just
right.
talking great video, funny video, or that was awesome. When are you going to do another video? They're talking about the influencer. They're not talking about the artist. So that's the difference. And that's what you get when you hire somebody else to do your work for you. But when you do it yourself, you have control over that. You have a conversation and you have a goal in mind, and you know what works and you know it doesn't work. So
you recommend doing the digging yourself, like reaching out to finding influencers yourself and reaching out personally?
people aren't going to like my answer to this, but like I said, the old music business, the new music business, I've been in both. The thing that hasn't changed, I always do it myself. I know that sounds strange, being from, having a huge staff at a record label, but we didn't hire marketing agencies. Those of you looking at a lot of these agencies, and they always list Universal, Warner, Sony, they mention these big clients. We did not hire many marketing services. We can count them on one hand, like how many marketing services. At the labels, we didn't hire these companies. We did everything in-house. When you see that they tag in those services at the bottom, what's usually happening in those situations is the artist manager might hire with their own budget they might put their own artist to go use this service because the label didn't want to use it. And so what happens is the artist and the manager might have hired that
So
service.
it's like a UMG artist or Sony artist, but it's not necessarily Sony contracting with the
Right.
service.
And Sony didn't pay them, the artist paid them. But what they do is they say, oh, this artist is on Universal. So they just go and use the big Universal name. That's 95% of the time. I guarantee it. Because at the labels, we did things ourselves because we wanted it done right. We knew we had good people. We hire good people at the labels. So we would just do it in-house. So that's not to say that labels haven't really tried to find good agencies, because there are some good agencies out there that get the job done. They do what they say they're going to do. They deliver the product they say they're going to, give you, but they don't do a good quality. So if they charge you $10,000 and you expect to get 5 million streams from that, you might get it. But if you put the same effort in and you pay your own staff $10,000 to go do it, you're going to get 20 million streams.
Right.
Because you're going to do that much better a job.
Yeah.
Now, that's what I said in the beginning. Nobody's happy with their influencer marketing agency, but they're like, it's so easy. We can just pay them. They're the experts. They can do.
Right.
It's so much easier to pay them. But what ends up happening is after $10,000, $30,000, $70,000 spent, $100,000 spent on influencer campaigns, yeah, it's easy, but we're not getting the results. They realize 2 good employees doing a really good job in-house can get us better results. So they're bringing their influencer marketing stuff in-house and doing a better job.
Yeah, it's super interesting.
And I would give the same advice to an unsigned independent artist. I'd say dabble in influencer marketing agencies just to get your feet wet, learn how it works, see the possibilities. So there are companies that have influencer marketing programs for cheap. Like I can think of Playlist Push. Sorry, we don't have any affiliation with them to mention them, but they do have a cheap $300, I think, campaign that you can, it's not going to give you amazing results probably, but at least you can get your feet wet and dabble in influencer marketing. I think Submit Hub's doing it as well. I recommend you try those just to learn the game a little bit, practice with it, and then learn what works, learn what doesn't work. You might discover some hashtags or some, verticals that your music might do well in, and then go try it yourself. If you have $5,000 or $10,000 and you're okay with burning it, you can hire some of these big influencer marketing agencies and it will get you some results. Maybe if you want to experiment with that and learn it at a higher level, go spend your $5,000 on that. Don't expect amazing results, expect average results. And then try to take and learn from that. And maybe you can do exactly what that campaign did and do it in-house on your own and do a higher quality job of it. And maybe you'll get better results and you don't spend the 5,000. Maybe you spend 2,000 or 3,000 because you do have to pay these influencers.
Yeah. I think that's good, Todd. I think that's just a good rule of thumb that artists don't necessarily want to hear. I mean, people don't necessarily want to hear that. Sometimes you just have to actually do the stuff to figure out how the stuff works so that you can do the stuff well. But yeah, I definitely have been guilty. I just put $500 toward an influencer campaign and hands off.